What's good, YouTube? It's your boy KB with Just Do Boxing, back with another video. Before I get into the video, I want to say if this is your first time on the channel, do your boy a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that bell icon so you can be notified when new content drops. We're growing slowly but surely on the road to 1,000, so let's get into it, man. So I'm sure y'all all heard by now, it's being confirmed that Errol the True Spence Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas for 3-belt unification, April 16th at AT&T Stadium. The fight that everybody been waiting for, get some clarification in this welterweight division. One fight closer to undisputed. This should be a big event for boxing, and for the two fighters as well. Spence was last in the ring December 5th, 2020, when he beat Danny Swift Garcia by unanimous decision in a pretty one-sided fight. Spence won almost every round, completely dominating Garcia. He couldn't get away or around Spence's jab, and ultimately he was dominated. Spence probably losing a couple of rounds toward the middle or toward the end of the fight, because he been off for a while. And he was coming off that horrific bad car accident after he fought Sean Porter and unified the belts. So he coming off an accident of that magnitude and getting in there with a top welterweight like Danny Garcia and beating him convincingly like no other opponent has. I think that says a lot about Spence as a fighter and where he's at. It's a testament to what type of fighter he is, really a top dog in the sport of boxing. More recently, he was supposed to face Manny Pacquiao back in August 21st of last year, but he had to pull out due to a torn retina, I believe, in his right eye, which led to Yordenis Ugas getting a fight with Pacquiao. Ugas, 27-4, 12 KOs, Cuban fighter, orthodox, 5'9", 69-inch reach. He was in the ring, August 21st with Pacquiao of last year, where he beat the Filipino legend, 8th division world champion Manny Pacquiao by unanimous decision in a good scrap. It was a good fight, but Ugas just proved to be too much for Pacquiao, and I believe Father Time caught up with him as well. It was just a recipe for him to lose. I believe the better man just won that night. He was outboxed convincingly by Ugas, which is now leading us to this 3-belt unification between the unified champion Errol Spence versus the WBA champion Yordenis Ugas in a highly anticipated fight. This is a fight that a lot of people been looking forward to. Like I said, this just brings us one step closer to a unification. And we all want that, but before we get to the unification, we got to get before we get to undisputed, we got to get to this unification fight, this 3-belt unification between Spence and Ugas that I definitely think is going to be one of the best fights this year. I see it being very competitive. I also see Spence winning it as long as he's 100% and his eye is held, as his sparring partner has recently told us, the eye shouldn't be a problem. He says Spence, his power, he's feeling stronger than ever. His IQ, he raised his IQ and his speed as well. So those are some good things you like to hear, being that Spence went through the car injury, the car accident, and then after the accident, the torn retina and him missing a big payday in a dream fight with Manny Pacquiao. But I think the injury was a blessing in disguise. I think it was better that they caught the injury in training camp rather than him tearing his retina during the fight and him potentially losing the fight due to an injury. So in my honest opinion, I think that was a blessing in disguise. I think even Spence would agree with that point. Better to catch it when they did. He even wanted to fight, but I think he went to 3 doctors and they all told him the same thing. That he had to get, the torn retina repaired as he did, which led to him being out of the ring, the whole 2021. So you fast forward to 2022, and we got this announcement for April 16th at AT&T Stadium, man. And this is a can't miss, don't miss fight. got your, the top level southpaw and Errol Spence against the Cuban slick fighter and Yordenis Ugas, and I think it's gonna be a high level chess match. I don't expect it to be easy for Spence. We all know Ugas comes to fight, got that Cuban style. He's technical as well, but he's just not known for punching power. And I think that's going to ultimately come back to haunt him. That, with him just not being the busiest of fighters. I mean, he lets his hands go, but, I've noticed in some of his recent fights, he just had moments in the fight where he don't let his hands go. And, with Spence having a high, consistent work rate and coming behind that jab, I see Spence being able to outwork him and outpoint him and outthink him. He's the better athlete. He's the better fighter. I believe Spence is just on another level. I believe he's been hearing the whispers. And, he even hashtag keep doubting me. So, he's been hearing the whispers of people questioning if he's 100%, if he's breaking down, if his eye is going to be a problem. And I just think come April 16th, he's going to prove a lot of people wrong as he been doing. I think he's going to walk out of there that night with 3 belts, a 3-belt unified champion. And I think that's going to put him in a position to put a lot of pressure on Terrence Crawford for an undisputed fight at 147. And like he said, we going to finally get to see who's holding up undisputed. I mean, it's him versus Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford is a must happen fight. It must happen for boxing. And ultimately, I think it will. I'm just going to be optimistic about it regardless of what's been going on in the media. I think that's a fight that those two dudes is going to make happen. It's too big for them not to fight each other. I don't think either fighter is ducking or scared of the other. You don't get to the level they at being scared, So I just think, if Spence got some business to clean up. As he said, he has some bigger fish to fry on his side. He said he was going to get these belts. He said he was going after Crawford. And up until this point, he's done exactly what he said he's going to do. So it's no reason for me to think, given that he's successful April 16th against Ugas, that he ain't going to put all the pressure on Terrence Crawford to make a fight happen for undisputed at 147. And like I said, it's a must-happen fight. It's a fight that I think is going to happen. But before we could get to that, like I said, he got to handle business against Ugas, and I think he will. I'm not counting him out. I know some people are. Everybody's not counting out Spence, but I hear the whispers, and like I said, I know he's hearing them, and he's tired of them, and I think we're going to see a motivated, healthy Errol Spence, and we all know that could be bad for anybody getting in the ring with a healthy, motivated Errol Spence. You just gave him another reason to go even harder in training camp, so he can shine in the fight, and I believe that's just what we're going to see. Like I said, the fight will be competitive. Ugas is no walk in the park for anybody, but like I always say over here, just do is levels, and Spence is going to display exactly that. It's levels. So that's my thoughts on the fight, man. Y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know who y'all got winning between Spence and Ugas, man. And let me know if I gave Errol the true Spence and Yordenis Ugas their just due, because that's what I like to do over here, just do boxing. To the next one, I'm out. Peace.